Hi Tini. Hi. Hey, the last time I was at the dentist's rooms, he was very impressed with my oral hygiene. He says my mouth is so clean, it's unbelievable. Yes, of course. I do not want any of these root canal treatment stories in my mouth. That's why I also keep my mouth clean. Of course, I will always keep my mouth clean. It's just that I have to frequent the orthodontist offices because I have no choice, man, but to do these braces. My teeth are crooked. Enjoy. For you to enjoy making Mr. Smiley tooth with Mrs. Smiley tooth, you will need a white wool. We are using 100% acrylic wool by MIRAGE 4-ply. We made the bow with color royal blue and the smiley lips from Mr. Smiley tooth with tiger lime color. Mrs. we used red for her lips, and for her bow we used sunrise. So besides the wools that you need, you will also need polyester fiber to stuff in your toy, and beads glue, wiggly eyes that you're going to put for your toy tooth, and stitch markers, a crochet hook. We are using 1.5mm crochet hook, and a pair of scissors. You might also need a needle. It's optional. Let's enjoy making our Mr. Smiley tooth. We are focusing on this project today. We find this interesting because Mr. Molar has 4 legs, and in dentistry we learned that molars, the lower molars, have 4 legs, and Mrs. Molar has 3 legs. In dentistry again, we learned that the upper tooth or the upper molar has 3 roots. So they usually work together like that when you are chewing. Let's enjoy. We are going to start with a chain of 3. Make a knot like that, which is chain 1, 2, 3, and we bring this together in a circle with a slip stitch. Then we are going to chain 1, and in the center there we are going to make 6 single stitches around the small circle. So we start our single stitch, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have to bring this together in a single stitch, but we are doing a continuous stitch. So where we started by chaining 1 there, we are going to do a single stitch there.
So we do a single stitch, and from there we repeat another single stitch in the same area. So we are now going to double up. We have 6 single stitches. Now we're going to do 2 2 2 in each chain all around. So let's meet when we are done with the second row of 2 2 single stitches. We are done with our second row of 2 single stitches in each chain. Now we want to continue increasing with this third row. So, but for us to know where we began, we are just going to use a stitch marker to mark that, and we continue doing 2 single stitches in each chain, and let's meet when we have completed this third row of still doubling up. So we have completed the third row. You see it's starting to look like that, continuous like that. And to show that this is where we began, when you count 1 2 3, you see that you are going to start the 4th row. 1 2 3 1 2 3. So but the 4th row now, we are going to now do 1 single stitch, 2 single stitches in one place, 1 single stitch, 2 single stitches in one place. We are not doubling up all the way, but it's 1 single stitch, and then the second one we double up. This is just to make sure it still runs almost flat. 2 single stitches in one place. So let's meet when we are done with this pattern. So at this stage, when you have completed this 4th row of 1 single stitch, 2 single stitches in one place, 1 2 2, just like that, it looks like it doesn't want to sit flat like before, but that's not much of a worry. We are going to do the 5th and the 6th row with single stitches only, no doubling up. So now it's just single stitches all around, single stitches all around. So let's do 5 and 6 row of with single stitches all around and meet there. Okay, so you will learn that when you are done with row 5 and 6, it almost comes back to lying flat again. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if we continue, we'll be making the second 7 rows. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now you grasp it. We have increased here on the 4th row by 1 single stitch, 2 single stitches in one area, 1 single stitch, 2 single stitch in one area, and then this was 2 rows of single stitches all around. And we are increasing on the 7th row again with 1 single stitch, 2 double stitches, 1 single stitch, 2 double stitches. After increasing that 8th row, then row 8 and 9, it's single stitches all around. So let's meet when we are done with that. So at this stage we have 9 rows, 1, 9. So meaning if we continue like that, we will start having the 10th row. But now we want to reduce, we want to build our molar now. So we are going to start with the crown preparation, where we are going to reduce the stitches. So we will reduce it in this fashion. We'll stitch 3 single stitches and then 4, 5 we reduce, 3 single stitches, 4, 5 we reduce, until we start to have this curving up. So let's do the single stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then the way we reduce, we will put our crochet hook and hook over the working wool, and on the second stage we also do the same, and we pull the working wool like that. We did this in just the previous tutorials, tutorial 22 and tutorial 23, where we were doing the beautiful boot socks and the boot socks with diamond shapes in tutorial 22. When we're making the heel of the boot, we reduced like this. So you can look at that. And also way in the beginning, tutorial 6C, somewhere there, we were doing some reductions when we're doing the Barbie dolls Christmas hat. So you can check those out as well. So let's meet when we are done with this row. So when you are done with row 10, you will notice that it starts not to sit up nicely. It will curl up like that. But this is the outside that we're going to use. The inside is like this. It's up to you. You can either use this as the outside, but then when you're making the roots or the legs, you will have to change again and make the pattern different. But this is also beautiful inside and also outside like that. So from now we are going to do 2 rows of single stitches all around, because this was reduction. So now we are doing single stitches all around 2 rows. Let's meet when we are done with that row of single stitches all around those 2 rows. So Mr. Smiley's crown is looking awesome. It's coming all right. We are done with single stitches, but now because it's curling up, it's a little bit difficult to see where we began. So I just want to put another stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 13. So this 13th one is where we are going to start reducing. I'm just going to put another stitch marker so that I see. So reduction, you remember, is that one of 3 single stitches, and you reduce like that. 1, 2, single stitch, single stitch, single stitch, and you do reduction. Single stitch, single stitch, single stitch, reduction. So let's meet when we have done this reduction row and 2 rows of single stitches all around. Okay, so we have the head of Mr. Smiley Tooth looking like that, but we are going to just add 1 more row of single stitches. You remember we did 2, but this time we just add 1 more row, and then we're going to stuff the crown with the polyester fiber. So let's just quickly add another row of single stitches, and we stuff, and we show you how to prepare for the legs, the 4 legs of our Mr. Smiley Tooth. I'm hoping you are enjoying this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Yep, because we started there, this is 1, 2, 3 of single stitches. If we are to continue now, we'll be making the 4th row, as you can see. So now we are going to just do a slip stitch, and we count our stitches so that we divide our tooth nicely. So count yours, I'll count mine, and when we are done we will divide the tooth. So mine are 40 stitches. I'm just going to count 20 and put a stitch marker there, and where I have put the stitch marker, I'm going to do a string of 8 chains to that stitch marker that I'm going to put. So there is my center. I'm going to put my stitch marker there and chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and take that string to that. So that's how I'll divide my tooth, and with a slip stitch I bring that together. Now I can remove this, and I'll just do a slip stitch again just to have it more secured, and we cut the string. So if you are to do Mrs. Tooth, you can either divide like that and then divide 2. So you will come and do the other divisions here from there to there and leave that. So this one is called a palatal root. It usually stands alone, and these are buccal roots. So Mrs. Tooth has 3 legs normally, and Mr. Tooth has 4 roots. so they are almost balanced like that. So I'm going to count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So there I'm going to do my stitch, my string. I like starting like that. Just chain 1 2, then leave that other string. So I'm chaining only 4, 2 3 4, and I come and attach that there in the center with a slip stitch, and continue with my chain of 4, 1 2 3 4, and come and attach there. But I just want to make sure. Let me count quickly. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Oh, nice. So I slip stitch there. So there we have the divisions or the partitions for our roots. But before we go on, we have to now stuff in our polyester. So we are done stuffing in. This we can remove. The markers we can remove now. And we are now going to start with one leg preparation. So we start with chain 1, and then all around one block we do single stitches. Single stitches all around one block. So we are going to do 3 rows of these single stitches. 3 rows of these single stitches. Also, we do single stitches. I'm sure now you get the gist of it. So we are going to continue making 3 rows. This is 1 row, second row, third row of single stitches. I just want to mark where I began so that I always know where I started. So let's meet when we are done with 3 rows of single stitches. So we have completed our 3 rows of single stitches. It's looking like that. We are now going to do reduction. This time, instead of 3 single stitches and reduce, we will do 2 single stitches and reduce, 2 single stitches and reduce. So this row is reduction, and it will be followed by 2 more rows of single stitches. So do 2 single stitches, and then we reduce, 2 single stitches and reduce, single stitches and reduce. Yeah, so we are trying to create the root or the legs with a pointed ending or the apex of the tooth. Now that we are done with the reduction row, 2 rows of single stitches all around, and then we stuff some polyester. So now it's single stitches all around. Let's do 2 rows and meet them. We are done with those single stitches. Let's stuff polyester, and we reduce. We do 2 rows, we reduce, we do 2 rows until we get the apex. Alright, so enjoy. Let's continue reducing 2 rows of single stitches, 1 row of reduction, and let's meet when we have completed, or we just show you how to make that tip. So we are done. Just slip stitch there. Let me just do another one. So there's our apex. I will cut that, pull this string, and now we will get inside and pull it just to make it not look very pointed. And just make a knot there. It will be invisible. Make a knot inside, pull that string, and we cut. So I'm not sure if you are going to put your master tooth in the bathroom. This is getting exciting. So we have the crown, we have 1 root. We'll show you how to start the 2nd root, and you'll complete the rest. I will start my 2nd one there. Like that with a single stitch, and we have to do single stitches all around, just like we did with the other root. Single stitches all around. It becomes a little bit tricky to hold this, but find a better way for you to hold that. And also with that string you do single stitches. Single stitches on that string, just like that. And then there at the edge of that other root you also do single stitches. So we are going to do 3 rows of single stitches, just like we did with this first root or the first leg of Mr. Smiley. So let's meet when we have 3 continuous rows. You can actually mark the beginning there, but I don't think now you will miss where you started, because you know it's just next to this root. So single stitches all around 3 rows, and we do the reduction row. Then we are doing a reduction row where we do 2 single stitches and then reduction stitch. Two single stitches, a reduction stitch, and followed by 2 rows of single stitches, reduction, 2 rows of it until you are at the apex. So let's meet when we have completed the 4 rows. Don't forget to stuff as you make your roots. Oh wow, I hope you have enjoyed making the legs of Mr. Smiley Tooth. That's how they are looking. And let's now show you how to prepare for this small bow. The nice thing with Mr. Smiley is he can stand by himself. He doesn't need any support, but we just want to give him some character. A molar tooth doesn't come very round, so we want to give him some cusps in so we will just put some cusps there. We are going to use a white string now, and I'm going to use a needle this time. So let's put our wool in the needle and put some character to Mr. Smiley Tooth. I would come from the root side there and just put my needle through like that, and put a needle back like that. This is just to give Mr. Smiley Tooth some character. So when I pull the string like that, it will create some cusp. You know, the tooth has grooves or fissures, so that's what we are trying to give, some fissures to the tooth. And for now, I'm gonna leave this and put another tension there to create another fissure. So this, in dentistry, they call them the mesial and distal areas, but that's for another day. Now let's just enjoy making the toy itself. So I'm gonna tie you can leave the tooth like that without really creating fissures, but it's just nice to have it with fissures and grooves, and also tie that one so it will look like that. Also tie that one. Even these legs, they have names according to their positions. They can be mesial and distal roots, buccal and lingual roots, something like that. Yeah, so we are done with making the fissures and the cusps. So now we want to create a mouth for Mr. Smiley tooth. We will start with a chain of 6. So make a knot like that, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to make our double stitch, we chain 3 more, 1, 2, 3, which is a total of 9. And we hook the working wool because now we are doing a double stitch. On the 4th chain, we work our double stitch. So we will do double stitches on the chain backwards until we are at the end there. So we are at the end, we just make another second row of double stitch, we chain 3, turn our work and do double stitches to there. So that will be it, and we tuck in our tails. So let's meet then. We are done with our row. We just cut that string and we tuck in those tails. So now that we have tucked in the tails, we just need a string, and we hold that work like that, squeeze it in between, and with our string you make you roll the string like that. I think that will be enough, and you tie. Let me tie it back there. Then you tie your knot. So there we have our simple small bow, and we're gonna put this aside. We're going to give Mr. Smiley Tooth some smile finally. So it will be something like that. We are trying to go and create a smile like that. So we are going to come in from the root side. You can start from right or left depending on what you have imagined his lips to be like. So I'm putting my string from the bottom there like that. So I'm just trying to create a smile like that. So from here I'm going to do a smile like this and put my needle there, more like I'm doing a back stitch, and also put the last one there to complete his smile. Yeah. So those are his lips. I'm going to try and create some mustache for him like that. Okay, so from here I'm going to put that to create a mustache for him and come out like that. So it's almost like if I were to put a wool like that, I'm just recreating something like that. So yes, there he has mustache, and here yes, so you will have mustache like that. And I'm taking this back in there. So there's a smiley from Mr. Smiley, and we tie a knot. Ta-da! So we are going to give him some ice. He must have some ice now. And we have his eyes ready now. We are going to put them there. Yeah, I think it will look gorgeous. So we will use our glue. I'm using the the corners of the mouth as markers for these eyes. Put that eye there. Awesome. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We have him lovely. And now we need to put his bow like that. So we are going to just pull these strings from underneath. I'll use, you can put them in the needle, or you can just use a crochet hook to pull them out. I will do that. Put my crochet hook there and pull one string. One eye has fallen. Pull that string like that. Just position the bow nicely. I have some glue there. Position the bow nicely and tie. I have to replace those wiggly eyes. Let me quickly replace my eyes. So I'm going to put the eyes there. So that's how we have our Mr. Smiley tooth. I know you have enjoyed this and you are going to make this toy for your child, or you can make it together. And let's get these kids to brush their teeth at least also at night, because if you have this toy in your bathroom, for instance, it will be easier for them to just brush their teeth, because they always reminded of brushing their teeth. So hit the subscribe button, share, and let's meet when we are doing some more interesting